French President Emmanuel Macron strongly criticized US President Donald Trump's threat to impose tariffs on European countries, calling the move hostile and damaging to transatlantic relations. In a post on social media platform X on January 17, Macron said Washington's tariff threat against Europe was unacceptable and contradicted the principles of cooperation between allies. Macron warned that if the United States formally confirms the tariffs, Europe would respond collectively through coordinated countermeasures. Macron said, quote, "France is committed to the sovereignty and independence of nations, in Europe as elsewhere. This guides our choices. It is also on this basis that we have decided to join the exercise decided by Denmark in Greenland. We stand by this decision, especially because it concerns security in the Arctic and at the frontiers of our Europe. No intimidation nor threat will influence us, neither in Ukraine, nor in Greenland, nor anywhere else in the world, when we are confronted with such situations. Tariff threats are unacceptable and have no place in this context. Europeans will respond to them in a united and coordinated manner if they were to be confirmed. We will know how to uphold European sovereignty. It is in this spirit that I will speak with our European partners." The warning came after Trump threatened to impose sweeping 10% tariffs on multiple European countries beginning February 1. The tariff threat is linked to Trump's broader push to force a deal allowing the United States to acquire Greenland, an autonomous territory within the Kingdom of Denmark and part of NATO. Countries potentially facing US tariffs include Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and Finland. Trump further escalated the threat by warning that tariffs could rise to 25% if no Greenland deal is reached by June 1. The American president's tariff ultimatum triggered widespread concern and alarm among European leaders. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer openly criticized Trump's move, describing the tariff threat against European allies as completely wrong. Sweden's Prime Minister, Finland's President, and senior European Union officials also publicly denounced Trump's tariff warning. Starmer said, quote, "Our position on Greenland is very clear. It is part of the Kingdom of Denmark and its future is a matter for the Greenlanders and the Danes. We have also made clear that Arctic security matters for the whole of NATO and allies should all do more together to address the threat from Russia across different parts of the Arctic. Applying tariffs on allies for pursuing the collective security of NATO allies is completely wrong. We will, of course, be pursuing this directly with the US administration." Swedish Prime Minister said, quote, "We will not let ourselves be blackmailed. Only Denmark and Greenland decide on issues concerning Denmark and Greenland. I will always stand up for my country, and for our allied neighbors. This is an EU issue that affects many more countries than those now being singled out. Sweden is now having intensive discussions with other EU countries, Norway, and the United Kingdom for a coordinated response." Finnish President Alexander Stubb said, quote, "Finland assumes that issues between allies should be resolved through discussion and shared rules of the game, not through pressure. Strengthening Arctic security together with the allies is important for Finland. This is also the goal of the activities in Greenland led by Denmark and coordinated by allies. The European countries are in agreement. We emphasize the principles of territorial integrity and sovereignty. We support Denmark and Greenland. The dialogue with US continues. Tariffs would damage transatlantic relations and could spiral." Despite European opposition, the United States has maintained that acquiring Greenland is necessary for American national security interests. Trump has repeatedly cited what he calls rising Russian and Chinese military and strategic activity in the Arctic region as justification for the Greenland push. The US president has claimed that if Washington does not acquire Greenland, Russia and China will move to dominate the territory instead.
Greenland is essential for America's national security. The new domain of international competition is going to be polar competition. That is where more and more resources are being spent by our nation's adversaries and rivals, is the ability to control movement, navigation, lanes of travel in the polar and Arctic regions. Greenland is 25% larger than Alaska. Greenland is the size of 1/4 of the continental United States. With respect to Denmark, Denmark is a tiny country with a tiny economy and a tiny military. They cannot defend Greenland. They cannot control the territory of Greenland. Under every understanding of law that has existed about territorial control for 500 years, To control a territory, you have to be able to defend a territory, improve a territory, inhabit a territory. Denmark has failed on every single one of these tests. So they want us to spend hundreds of billions of dollars defending a territory for them that is 25% bigger than Alaska at 100% American expense. But they say, while we do this, it belongs 100% to Denmark. It's a raw deal, it's an unfair deal, and most importantly, it's unfair to the American taxpayer, who have subsidized all of Europe's defense for generations now. American dollars, American treasure, American blood, American ingenuity is what keeps Europe safe and the free world safe. And Donald Trump's insisting that we be respected, Sean.
Trump's aggressive Greenland campaign has intensified disagreements and unease within NATO. Amid these tensions, a French National Assembly deputy has been openly calling for France to withdraw from NATO. French lawmaker Getz said that remaining in an alliance led by a power that does not respect international law is undesirable for France. Getz warned that continued NATO membership risks dragging Paris into conflicts that run directly against France's national interests. Getz France insubordinate party has condemned NATO's recent actions and has gone as far as advocating for the alliance's dissolution. President Macron himself has expressed growing doubts about the strategic direction and decision-making of NATO in recent years. On January 15, Macron said France and its European partners should accelerate the development of long-range weapons capabilities. Macron's remarks came just days after Russia struck Ukraine's city of Lviv using the nuclear-capable Oreshnik missile. France also deployed troops to Greenland for a two-day military mission officially named Operation Arctic Endurance, marking a short-term but deliberate French presence in Greenland.